The bill was passed. Do not panic. The budget bill was passed, but do not panic. Now, listen to me, liberals. Listen to me, Kamala Harris voters. If you're new to me right now, you definitely got to subscribe to me because you ain't going to hear this on the web anywhere else. First of all, I'm Darren Monroe. I used to work for Kamala Harris's campaign. I got 30 years marketing, branding experience. I'm going to break this down to you. Yeah, the bill was passed 15 to 14 in the House. Now listen to me. Don't fall for the bull that the left alarmists are going to bring to you, as well as the legacy media. Here's, again, subscribe now. Seriously. Here's the reality of this. The bill passed in the House. When you want a law, you got to get it passed in both houses. So now it goes over to the Senate. And the Senate majority leader has already talked about some things he has some concerns with. So there's a good chance that the bill that you saw come out of Congress in the House may be a much watered down, including Medicare, Medicaid, Affordable Care Act, when it gets over to the Senate. Is there a chance it could get passed in the Senate? There is a chance, but let me point out a couple of scenarios here so you don't panic, you pull it together. Scenario one is that if they water it down, then they said whatever gets watered down, Trump is going to try to do executive orders on. Now, why am I smiling because of that? Because the man is 5 and 68. That means that if he puts an executive order out that the judicial branch does not feel is justified, they will knock that ish down and it will delay them being able to cut anything. That's one. Two, let's say there's something horrible in there that does pass through the Senate and gets in there. The judicial branch still has the right to challenge that because their goal is to interpret the law. We are a decentralized government. That's what the issue Trump has had in this 18th week of Trumpism and why he's 5 and 68, meaning he's only won 5, he lost 68. The reason is because he keeps breaking the law and the judicial branch keeps saying, we ain't doing that, we ain't having that. Well, in this bill, if you're cutting 15 million people out of Medicaid and out of care and cutting down hospitals, can the judicial branch do something about it? Can the 23 states that are Democratic with their governors and attorney generals do something about it? And can the other, now keep in mind, can the other nonprofits like the ACLU and others do something about it in the courts to delay and hold off from this being executed? Answer, yes. They can fight this. They can fight this just like they fought in the first 3 weeks when they froze Medicaid going out to people. It's a slightly different scenario, but they still have fights. So again, let's recap that. First, got to get signed through the Senate. Second, let's say it's watered down and he tries to do executive orders. Judges can knock them down. Third, let's say whatever gets through, they can be challenged both by the judicial branch, the 23 governors and attorney generals, and also sued at by nonprofits and people to fight it back. Because this is a death bill. This is a bill that will cause thousands of deaths. But I want you to understand, I'm not saying that to alarm you, to scare you. I want to arm you, not alarm you, with knowledge to understand that this process is still here. And even whatever they get through the bill, whatever he tries to put out in executive orders, there are people in both the judicial branch, the nonprofit, and the 23 governors and attorney generals who are there to challenge that. So it's not automatically, okay, we passed the law, nobody challenges, it's not over. Then I want to point one last thing out, because there's some of you been freaking out over this other stuff. Well, in that bill, he's saying that we can get away with doing whatever we want according to according to the law that we passed. We're going to make sure that Trump can't be held in contempt by the court. Well, unfortunately, he can't do that. He can put it in there, just like he put out all these stupid executive orders that didn't go anywhere. He can put it in there, but that don't make it so. The Constitution is our law of the land. The Constitution clearly points out judicial branch finds something wrong. They can say, whoop, you out the door. So, did I just earn your subscription? Damn right I did. Anybody unsubscribing here is a fool. Come on now. Here's the deal. There's nobody else out there saying that. You got all of this alarmist left creators who are going to come out and say, the bill was passed. All hell's done. It's going to be... No, this ain't about being optimistic. This is about being realistic. And the realistic thing is you still got to get it through Senate. The realistic thing is that the average bill that passes through a law is 6%. So it's going to be watered down. The realistic thing is that Donald Trump, who's going to try to put in executive orders, always gets his executive order knocked down. How do we know? It lasts 18 weeks, 5 and 68. And the realistic thing we know is all of this stuff is real. I'm going to discuss the rest of this in my Clarity group. Get in there wise open, because I'm going to break down stuff in a way that nobody knows. In fact, I'm doing a special live session I think I'll do tonight. I'm going to do a special live session just to help people out and really grasp what's going on, okay? I'm going to talk to that in my Clarity group. So if you want in on that, go into the descriptions. But it's going to be okay, everybody. We're still in this fight.